And
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll
and now
definitely think about that.
that
Wait,
I've
what's
been
the category?
the category,
Software? Like
education, I
the
guess.
game category?
Education or
Okay.
software. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
for Twitch, yes, software. On YouTube, it's like education, I
Software,
think.
okay. What's your Twitch name? The real Raymond Jones?
Yeah, the real Raymond Jones. Oh my God, I don't know why
I
my.
bet.
I wish I had like a $2,000 computer.
I feel that my computer's not strong enough for some of the things I want to do.
Yeah.
All right, so teach me, Sensei.
All right. Yeah. So, how much of that video did you go through? Right. Like, one thing I recommended was like the free code camp video. You said you watched like an hour, but did you do any more?
Yeah, I watched like the part he talked about working with strings, working with numbers,
Okay.
and yeah, that's about as far as I got.
Okay. Could you like tell me, I guess, some of the stuff you learned just in it? Like, and you can run code here too, right? So, like, I think one of the first things you probably would have gone through was like the hello world. Oh my God. One of the things he would have gone over is like the hello world type thing. Like,
Um,
it was like printing out of triangles. And
yeah,
you can click run and
they
it'll.
he did like a story. He had like a story where like it was like uh there was a man named George. He was 70 years old, and
Yeah.
then he like swapped out the strings of like George and the number 70 for like
Yeah.
different numbers and different strings.
Yeah. Could you do that right now? Just like, I guess, like type out a story and kind of have it
Sure.
do that.
So you have to, okay, well, let's just say like, I don't think I can type. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, print. Okay, I'll just do like, there was a man named Ray.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
wait, what did I do?
it like auto completed. I think autocomplete is on, so it like tries to like guess what you're gonna type.
Okay. Uh, he was 70 years old. And then, okay, we got to move this down. And then you need to create a variable, right? So if we say like, well, in the video, he just did like character name. Uh, how do you do it? Equals? Or probably, wait, was it an equal sign or a plus? I forget.
Um, yeah, mm, the equal sign. Yeah, it's an equal sign. Like
I'm
it's
just trying
like
to create like a.
yeah,
Okay, so then if I go here and put in like character, yeah, character name. Uh,
yeah,
oh yeah,
that's
you need quotes, quotation
yeah.
marks.
It's like it's just kind of like syntax stuff. No, this is fine. It's like this will work, right? Like if we run this code, you click run right now, it'll show my name as Ray. Okay, there just needs to be like a space, but just like add a space
Oh
here.
yeah.
Um, okay, cool. No, that's nice. This
Okay.
is like pretty good programming thing. Okay. So, I guess a
Yeah,
couple
and then
things.
you can swap out Ray for like anything. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah, you could swap my name out and it'll change it. So like if we have this like 1,000 lines long or whatever, and we have this story, like it's so much easier. Instead of typing Ray, you know, a million times or 1,000 times, we can just change it once. Change it once and it goes.
Uh-huh.
Change the name.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and this is how like computer, like this is
Okay.
how like your name gets shown on like Instagram or whatever. Like they don't have like a million copies of people's names. They just have like one variable that's like my name, and it just shows like my name or whatever. So, but okay, cool. So I guess going into like
Gotcha.
this
Okay.
tutorial, I so one thing I like, I guess just mentioning when I'm talking about like okay programming for like the first time is that one I think like I mean programming is like it's a pretty hard skill, like hard in the sense that like it takes a lot of time to like learn everything, and most of the time what I say is like it's gonna take you like you know probably like 3 years before you like make any money, or if you like sign up for like a boot camp, you know, where you do it like 60 hours a day of just like pure coding or whatever, it's gonna take you like a year before you make like before you can like get a job basically. And like a college degree is like
Right.
4 years for this, yeah. So yeah, I mean it's a pretty hard thing, but I think that like one, if more people knew how to like just literally basic programming, I mean your life would probably be easier like a bit, because you can like kind of write programs to do
Mm-hmm.
things that are like annoying. Um, so like yeah, I think it would be a benefit. Like if everyone in the world knew how to program, it'd probably be like a good thing. But that said too, like for money, doing it for money though is like it's just gonna take a long time before it actually like pays off. But when it does pay off, it pays a lot. Like like uh like Amazon and Google, like they're offering like or at least you know some of the job groups that I'm in, like people are getting offers for like $300,000 a year, working for Amazon, and like the
Right.
only thing they have to do is like I guess you know do this stuff basically for like 3 years, but
Mm-hmm.
it's an annoying thing. Like you gotta learn a lot, and it's like you're constantly learning too. Like you're constantly the technology is basically always changing, and we got ChatGPT and stuff. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's like the thing for it, and also for you too. I don't even know if I would. I mean, like honestly, I don't think you would need to code. I mean, if you want to like switch careers, yeah, sure, but like if you're doing like content creation too, I feel like it's the same with content creation where if you spent 60 hours a week like doing content creation for like a year, you would have like a ton of money. So I feel like coding is it's not like super necessary, but
No, yeah, I don't want to like get a job as a programmer or anything. I just kind of like it seems like such a useful skill, especially like you said in today's world, that I kind of just want to like know the basics and like perhaps it could be useful in some like applications. Also, I want to just like kind of um understand better like how things are like you said like this like examples of how I can actually implement or like how companies or like websites actually implement like coding. Like
yeah,
this thing you told me about like how on Instagram they just swap out like character names instead of like printing your name over and over. Like that type of stuff is pretty interesting to me.
yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think that's kind of funny too. I taught Brandon and and I was like, Brandon, you just gotta watch this 4 hour tutorial, and then he like couldn't. I don't even think he finished it, and I was like, okay, well that goes to that programming career. But again, like I said, you don't need to do it. But yeah, he gave up on it. But
Literally me.
yeah, you're like, damn, this is pretty
I
boring
wasn't like
stuff.
dead bored watching that though. Like I was interested, but I just had a pretty busy week.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, I guess we can get started with this like lesson thing. So there's a couple things like it kind of sucks about programming is that like again there's a lot of stuff you have to learn, especially at the beginning, to like ramp up. Um, one thing is like this idea of like variables is like pretty weird. Like the cool thing you can do with programming is that you can add already you're already given like a command that lets you print stuff, right? So this is what print does for Python, in Python
Mhm.
specifically, right? So like this with print, you can now print like you can tell stories, you can write stuff, and it appears in the console, which is like this is like why it's called like the hello world, like the first beginner tutorial like thing. But then after that, after you once
Okay.
you understand that okay, I can print stuff, now it's like oh well, like how do I actually like make applications? Like what are like the building blocks of that? And the building blocks of all of that is just like variables and like how to store data variables, which is basically just like how to store data, right? How does how does a company like Instagram or how does a company like Chess know what position is you're playing on the chessboard? How do they know to keep track of your stats? It's because they're just storing data. And while printing stuff is cool, like we want to store data. That's like the goal. Um, so that's what you did here too, right? So this is like the first thing he teaches you, which is character name. You can store the name of the person. That's like a pretty powerful thing because now you can store bank account information, you can store chess piece locations, you can store like anything really. Um, the so now that you kind of you should understand that. The thing I want to talk about is like one is like syntax. That's like the annoying part that you kind of have to learn. So these are all kind of abstract concepts. I'm talking about like storing data, but like how we store data is we have a variable, and a variable is like literally written like this. So it's like character B, right? And
Uh-huh.
this can be like the name, right? So if it's there are data types, and we'll call this like a string, is what this is called in programming. There's another one that's called like let's say like their health, and that's like an integer, right? This is like called an integer, and you have to know that these names of these things, you have to memorize them because, or at least know what they look like because you can't like the computer doesn't know what the difference between this is 100 and then like literally this like 100. I don't know if that makes sense, but like if your health is a string of 100, it's like you can't do math on that. Like if I say like health minus 100, well then you can't do any math operations really on like text. Like a string is like text and then like an integer is like an actual number that you can do like math stuff on.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's very important to have this distinction because if let's say like I do this and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I want to do math. I want to go into math mode now." And so I'm like, "Okay, print health." In a lot of programming languages this will just error. It's like you cannot do this. You cannot do this at all because you're saying like cuz this is an integer, it doesn't have any quotes on it. And again, it's just weird syntax stuff, but like if you don't put quotation marks around it, then it's like it's not an integer or it is an integer if you
Uh-huh.
don't put quotes on around it. And so it's like, okay, then the computer's gonna say, okay, well, this is an integer, and then the computer's gonna say that when you try to print it, it's just gonna throw an error. It's like you can't do this. Like you can't print. That's not text. That's a number for math. So
Okay.
yeah, so this is like the building blocks of it. And then obviously like the cool thing too that you can do is like you can say like you can actually do math here. So you can say like health or like let's say here like health equals health like minus 50, right? And then we like print it out or something. In Python it works though. In Python this is like a fine thing. Python's more beginner friendly, but if I print this out, what you're gonna see is like, oh hey, like the computer could do math on this.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, my computer I think is going like super slow with this stupid thing, but okay. I don't know how to. Anyways, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
he talked about, like, the same thing basically in the tutorial,
He talked about what?
so I think I got this one. He talked about, like, the same thing in the tutorial,
Yeah, okay.
and he also showed how you can do, like, different math operations like division, multiplication, or, like, absolute value,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, so this is like a little refresher for you, which is good. I mean, again, this is like something important. It's really important to memorize, honestly. So, now that you have this, like now it's like, okay, well, also Solaris asked, who are you on vocal with? This is Eamon Montgomery. I met him in Mexico City, and I guess I don't know how much of do you want to introduce yourself for people? Do you want to
Hey
introduce
guys,
yourself?
yeah, I'm Eamon. Yeah, I'm 25. I live in Denver, Colorado right now. I'm a professional poker player, and I'm also a national master in chess, and I'm also like a chess coach now.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah,
Ray's just giving me a little coding lesson.
yeah. And he's supposed to be giving me like a chess
I know
lesson.
like close to zero. So,
Yeah. Yeah, he's supposed to be giving me a chess lesson. And he also like does like some chess stuff. Yeah, national master in chess. Yeah, Solaris is also like he's probably like the equivalent of a national master for like these leak code problems. Like unironically, it it's
Nice.
weird.
What's your elo?
Um, he said Solaris says we should do puzzle rush so that you can destroy everyone. You actually should. You know what we could do is
Yeah.
hop into Pat's chat, and then tell Pat, hey, yo, let's do some puzzle rush, and uh, and get some people doing some puzzle rush and see like what is a yeah how hard does a national master? I don't know what they score on that, but
Yeah, it'll be fun.
okay. So let's see here. And Pat's another streamer. He's streaming right now. I think he's like studying for his Amazon interview. But anyways, all that. But yeah,
Nice.
no,
Good luck.
Eamon. What's up?
Good luck to Path.
Pat. Yeah, Patrick.
Bye.
Um. Okay. Yeah, so Lars is messaging in chat. He says, "I bet an NM could score at least 50 on those puzzles." Uh. Okay. Let me go back to this thing. Yeah, I guess we'll find out though. We'll find out. Oh yeah, but yeah, he's very good at chess and poker. So okay, cool. So now we have these variables. The other thing too I want to also note is that you can kind of string data together. So like it's not just variables. I don't know if you would have talked about this yet, but like let's say we have like a list of names. You can have like I don't know, like Todd, like Brad, like Chad. Does this make sense, right? You can have a variable, which is something that's not in quotes, and we say equals, and then you can put in like if you put brackets around something, that means that you want to store a list of something. Does that
Yeah, yeah, I see.
okay? Yeah, like that's like a thing. And so what you can do for this, right, is you can actually store all the posts that people have. Right now, we can store that. We're not limited to just one thing. We can store. God, my this is like so bad. I hate this stupid Mac. It's not even like bad. It's just like streaming all day, I guess. It just overheats it. Okay, so this is like called a list, right? It's like a list, an array, whatever. But like now we can kind of store things like everybody's name. We can store like a ton of numbers. Maybe like what does this look like after well, practically is like if you're in chess, we can store all the games that you've played because we have like lists. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna go into like the hard part of doing this programming stuff, which is one is just like memorization, but like now we're going into like algorithms. So algorithms. So algorithms 101. Like what tools do we have to make a computer do things? We really only have three tools and you have to master them very, very well. And it's like actually really difficult. Like, I mean, you probably spend like 1 week in doing this, but this is like, I think the equivalent of like learning how a chess piece moves because maybe actually not. It's like, I don't know. It's hard, but mastering this is like really important. But it's a for loop. It's if
Uh,
statements. And you're gonna see this guy go over it if you go to that free code camp video. But if statements, like a while loop. Cool. So all right. So let's go for the first one, which is a for loop. Actually, let's go for the first one, which is an if statement. So let's say I want to, and let's only work with prints. So the only one big thing here, we're only going to be printing things. But let's say that like I want to make a choice and I want a decision. If if the user says 1, I want something to happen. If the user says 2, I want something else to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the user input. This is like I guess this is I kind of lied. So we actually need to take input from the user. We'll do that calling the input command. And then we're going to use the print command. So we're going to say if the user says like yes, then we're going to print good decision giving you a
okay.
puppy. Let's say like we ask the user, we tell the computer, hey, like input, like ask them something. That's what basically what input means. Like, do you want a puppy. And then we can say yes, or they can say no. And say poor puppy, right? So let's run this, right? Let's run this and see what what happens.
Uh, yeah.
So I'm gonna click run, right? So it says, do you want a puppy, right? It's asking you for something. And so if you say
Uh,
yes, if you type in yes, oh, is it not letting me type or do I have to? Okay, unfortunate. I thought this could take input. I don't know. Bjergsen underscore high school. What is his elo at chess?
my like over the board rating is 2200.
No, there we go.
Yep. My lead chess blitz is like 2400.
Raul, did you get selected Amazon? I did not. Failed the object-oriented programming part. I'm probably planning to C is the best language for beginners. Maybe. Okay, but so you saw here, Eamon, although my computer I think it's going slow, but do you want to do you want a puppy? Right? It says like yes. I say yes, and then it says like poor puppy. Well, it said that because I typed in like a ton of other stuff, but do you understand, I guess? Does it
Yeah,
say
yeah, I
give
see.
a
But
statement?
are you typing on the output here and it says yes?
Yeah, did you not see that
Or yeah,
on
I
the
see. But
output?
you typed yes, 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 and it said poor puppy because you didn't say exactly yes.
Yeah. So then this is the kind of like the hard part about programming where you have one, I put equals equals here. If you see that, that's not going to do anything because the program is running. The program finished. You could run the program and then type yes,
Oh, I
but
see.
it has to
Okay.
be exactly, it has to be an exact match or else it's going to fail.
Equals equals. Yeah, that's what equals equals means. Is
Yeah,
it has to be
equals.
exact match.
Yeah. There is
Yeah.
another
Okay.
one. If I delete the equals equals and I say in, or wait, it would have to be opposite. I would just say like yes in user input or something. But you can do like things that approximate it. But a lot of the times you want to always be exact. A lot of the times. But like I could say like yes in, and what this is going to do is it's going to look for something that's about has yes. As long as yes is in there once, it'll do it. But again, this is why like this stuff isn't just like cut and like this is I told you there's only three things for programming really. Like you can code anything. If statements, for loops, while loops. That's it. You master these three and you can code Facebook, unironically.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so let's go into like what's happening with the if statement and how do you do an if statement, right? So I just kind of showed you this. So one is that you're just gonna say like if, you're gonna say if, and then you're gonna have like some condition. So it'll be like if, and then like some condition, and then that's it. And then after that, you can execute your action. That's what this is on a high level is happening. So I'm saying like if some condition. In my case, my condition was that I want the user to say yes, or no, and then the second part is that you can have an else. So again, other thing you have to memorize is that we can have an else, which means if the condition is bad, if whatever that condition isn't true, then we'll just move into the other like pathway. In this case, like this pathway was poor puppy. What's up? Okay, cool. Yeah. So then in this case, it was poor puppy. But conditions, right? We're talking about conditions and actions. And so what you can do here is you can say like, if somebody goes to my website, then show them the web page. If somebody types in their username, then check if it's good or not, right? Like you see that where we have if statements, we just have actions that are being executed, and the actions like can get more complicated. But in programming, we just kind of like break everything up. So like logging into a website is just going to be like going to be kind of like another thing basically. And I kind of want you to practice with this. Can you write me, I guess, just another example of like a if statement? Let's try to do this one more. like math oriented. So let's say that like we're gonna input like what's 2 plus 2. So write me something that's gonna ask the user what's 2 plus 2, and then tell them if their answer is right or not. Yep. Yep. So same thing, user input. That's gonna be the variable name. You can name it anything you want, of course, but let's just do user input, I guess. And then so you're gonna say input. So this is telling the computer, hey, ask this person a question. And then on the inside, in quotation marks, you have to say like the question in quotation marks, or else the computer's gonna think it's a variable, and like it's not gonna know the difference. Cool. Yeah, cool. Nice. Yeah, you need a colon here too. It's easy to miss. You need a colon. But yeah, or else the thing will just break. Oh wait, did the apparently the audio just broke, and it was working, but now it's broken. My my OBS audio like just stopped working. Yeah, I gotta probably have to restart the stream, honestly, because I don't think there's anything. Bjergsen HS said, yeah, Bjergsen HS said programming should be very easy for you, because your elo is high. Eamon said he doesn't think that's quite how it works. Yeah, it's still going. I'm gonna close it and then redo it.